When you graduated from high school, did you feel ready to live life with less guidance? Not having a mandatory place to be for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 36 weeks a year. When they handed you that diploma, did you feel ready to navigate the complexities of college on your own? Know how to file taxes or understand the right ways to handle a credit card? These are just some of the life skills many teenagers don't have the opportunity to learn in the place that is supposed to prepare them for life, high school. As college students, we can take the time to look back at how we felt when transitioning from high school to where we are now, but the skills and knowledge we left with are far more important. To better prepare teenagers for college, curriculums implementing fundamental life skills should be mandatory for all high schools. Without the proper discipline, many high school students are left to learn simple life skills on their own, unless schools were required to teach them. An increase in college and life preparation classes for young students can guide them to starting their life strong without falling behind. According to an article by Melissa Willits on parents in June 2025, a survey was done with recent high school graduates asking their readiness for life after school, and the results explain themselves. 32% stated their schools did not prepare them well enough for the outside world. 59% had no understanding of insurance, credit, or taxes, and 38% felt unprepared to manage their own money. These numbers prove how the school system continues to fail students by underpreparing them for life without guidance. Many students feel that their schools prioritize more academic subjects rather than teaching practical skills like cooking, personal finance, or basic first aid. According to an article from Median in October 2017, the author emphasized this by stating schools now teach teens how to memorize information rather than properly learning these critical skills. Educators assume these are skills that teenagers learn at home. However, not every student is fortunate enough to have the resources to do so. With no support in the school or home setting, these teens fall further behind, losing the intrinsic motivation to keep learning. With these clear issues affecting thousands of teens across the world, pinpointing the cause can aid in the process to fix it. Many lower class communities lack the funds to supply the educators, classrooms, and materials to teach these subjects, which is why the option to incorporate them into the budgets is not as high of a priority. According to the Education Data Initiative, as of February 2025, Melanie Hansen reports that the U.S. federal, state, and local governments average the spending of $878.2 billion to fund public K through 12 schools. Of course, this is a lot of money being put into education systems in this country. And it makes it seem like all the states are giving their children equal opportunities for education, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case. If we look at the average funding state by state, the states with higher income taxes like California or New York receive more money per student in schools because their communities earn more and pay more in taxes. This leaves smaller states with less funding for their students, simply because they may not house billion-dollar companies like California does, for example. Not every family can afford to move or to stay in states which have been shown to give their children higher education advantages, which is why communities need to advocate for their youth. Many schools show no willingness to challenge their students, which can negatively impact the education of children, leaving them with no internal motivation to try harder. With poor mental health, students will not reach their highest potential academically, which can set them further behind than their peers. These reasons are why students don't reach out to learn. The opportunities for them are not made to encourage or motivate them. However, creating programs that can engage students can teach them the valuable lessons they need. In order for students to feel engaged in their own futures, showing them the benefits and fun behind learning skills they'll need in life can pique their interest. For example, gathering students to watch a cooking demonstration while getting student volunteers to assist and learn gives them hands-on practice. In order for students to engage in learning, they must have the internal motivation to do so. According to an article from Game Plan in April of 2024, author Nicholas Carlucci explains that asking students what they want to learn or lack the knowledge of can better engage them in said activities. This can guide educators to finding the right materials to support the subject they want to learn. If schools lack general funding for educators or resources, they can raise awareness by asking parents or local college students to volunteer and share their knowledge of said subjects. Creating a safe environment for students to explore their options can open their minds to new experiences. On the other hand, there are teens who do not have the same drive for learning as others. Therefore, incentives for completing programs can help them stay on track. If there was a course on money management, a challenge could be trying to plan an event while staying on a hypothetical budget to teach ways to buy inexpensive items, learn how sales work, and understand the differences between wants and needs. Although extrinsic motivators are not long term, making programs that are fun and rewarding for kids can make it easier for them to learn. According to a Psychology Today article, David Burkus explains how, in order for intrinsic motivators to work, there are a few key factors that must be involved. In the case of these students, they must first believe putting in more effort will increase their performance, meaning, if they are going to be put into a program about something they have yet to learn, they want to feel like they're actually learning and going to gain experience. Second, the increase in effort will be noticed and rewarded. And lastly, the reward is something they're actually interested in. If such programs could be started for schools in need of assistance, we as college students should feel encouraged to reach out and teach those who don't have the opportunity to do so. Being aware of the ways we as a community can help support the future generations succeed in life is a feeling we should not take for granted. Curriculums that teach our youth to feel comfortable with skills needed in our everyday lives are crucial to their development and self-sufficiency in the future. In order for teens to have a strong start going into life, understanding basic skills like cooking, saving money, or how taxes work can benefit them and those they choose to share the knowledge with. We as college students can use our own experiences with high school to teach those younger than us what we did or did not know back then, but do now,